Hello, and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Jason.
Grief, anger, depression, abuse, it's all just chemical reactions. Because this week we recommend The Invitation.
Yeah.
The 2015 one, that is.
Yes.
So, bro, this is your first time watching it?
Yeah, man, I loved it.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear.
I thought it was really good. Sad at times, but
Excruciatingly sad.
it was very good. And it was so unnerving all the time. And I was just genuinely upset most of the way through it.
It's one of those movies where you're like, why is anybody still here? This is what I think like true horror is.
Oh God.
For me personally in real
Just
life.
dinner parties, that's what I think
This
is the true horror.
Just like every awkward situation that happens in this. Like I would have had it gotten out a long time ago.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw Sadie come in and looking all Manson girl like, I feel like, no, something's gonna happen tonight, and I don't want to be a part of this.
Like, is she just the roommate?
What-
The naked roommate?
She just like, I want to say something real quick. Can you believe that this movie gets a graphic nudity rating
No.
for that one scene?
That
there?
one scene?
One scene. It's
You can barely
graphic
even
nudity.
see her muff.
I know.
The
Isn't that
hell?
crazy? It's
not
so weird.
graphic.
We're like, everything else is perfectly fine, but they're like, that's as graphic. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, like the blood and guts, I'm like fine with, but social awkwardness, it's like the scariest
It's
thing
way
ever.
worse.
It's so scary to watch on screen. 'Cause I just feel it more than I feel like someone gets stabbed. Because at the
Yeah.
end, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. The whole beginning, I'm like, hands gripping my couch. And I'm like, no, stop talking to these people and leave.
I had to force my dog to stay like on me to protect me from
Yeah,
the movie.
Please protect me from all the scary
All the
people.
awkwardness.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I feel like the movie does a great job of, as much as I want, like I put in my notes, leave, just get out. But like if you're actually in that situation, you know there's so much grief in this house and all these friends are just there like, we got to make this work because we haven't seen each other in 2 years and who knows when we'll see each other again. For me, this would have been the last time I ever saw
Yeah.
Eden and David, that's
Probably
for sure.
just never would see them again.
Yeah, but it's like I can see everybody being like, we have to stay here because this is obviously them trying to fix their lives or whatever.
Yeah. Try to overcome the grief and
Yeah.
yeah, that was sad. But I have to go to a dinner party this Saturday
Uh-oh.
and I'm probably going to cancel now.
Yeah.
I'm going to let my wife go by herself.
You just need to call everybody that's going to go there. Did anybody go to Mexico recently and join a cult by any chance?
Yeah.
Or like, so what do you feel about the cult in this film? Did you feel it's kind of believable? Or
It was just kind of, they didn't really talk about the cult very much. It's just kind of almost kind of a background thing that you don't really think about a lot. You're like, okay, cult's dangerous.
yeah,
It's,
but I feel like there's been a lot of like cult documentaries on Netflix and stuff. What was the Love Flame or
Twin Flames.
Twin Flames? And you can kind of like, I was like, whenever I saw the videos, I was like, yeah, this is actually a pretty decent
it's
video
decent
for a
'cause-
cult. And the leader is very spacey. And I just like how spacey the people that are in the cult are, where they're just like, it feels like they're all on drugs.
Yeah, they
And,
are.
like they may be, but there's just like this loopiness to them that makes them so scary. And I feel like this is a very big thing in California.
And they kind of touched on it with the addiction aspect of the guy joining the cult. Because
Yeah.
it's just, a lot of people just kind of change their addiction from drugs to something else.
something else. Yeah.
It's so scary.
Yeah. Because there's people in my family that like, they went from being addicted to drugs and then you can tell that they put it all into religion.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, okay.
They're like, if this doesn't work, I am dead.
Yeah. You can just see it when they talk about it. It's like, oh, this is like what you would talk about like if you're on drugs, but like instead you've replaced it with that. Which hey, it's better than doing drugs,
I
Like
guess.
you want to replace it with something good. I mean, something that like isn't killing you,
Yeah. Isn't outright causing you harm constantly, but in a different way.
Yeah, and harm to your other people.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
makes you scary
Yeah.
and intolerable.
You can just always tell, like, when someone's like, "Oh, you've replaced something with this now."
Yeah.
I can just feel it radiating off of you.
Okay. I tell you what, if I come over here, Jesse, and you want to show me a YouTube video, and it's just someone dying like this, I'm not gonna stay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fuck you for
Well,
thinking about
I mean, at least, if you're just gonna die of cancer, it's like it's not a bad way that she went, right?
It's like is she holding the selfie stick while
Yeah.
she's dying?
Hey, this is my last TikTok, guys. We'll see you later after this. Hold on, let me do one more dance and show my butt for a second. They actually have a TikTok cult. There's a cult that was made on. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's
Sweet.
It was like supposed to be a religious thing, and they have like all these people dancing, and then it ended up being like a cult.
Oh yeah,
I haven't watched it yet.
I saw that,
but like I think I heard about it through the last podcast on the left, like one of their side stories or something.
Yes,
and then it was on Netflix. It's like I gotta watch this.
Yeah, I saw that one.
But I cannot watch people dance on TikTok. It's so annoying to me.
Oh yeah,
it's the most. I don't know when this happened, but I'm just so angry about people doing dumb dances on TikTok.
The dumb dances are bad. Like good dancing, I can watch good dancing. Or I can watch that lady break.
Oh hell
from the Olympics.
Australian
I can
lady.
watch that all day.
Well, I mean, she said it herself. She's the best breakdancing she's ever done.
Yes.
I feel like whenever I complain about people dancing on TikTok, it's old man yelling at clouds. And I have to get over it and try to stay cool and hip.
I love the ones with the cowboys and they're just thrusting all the time.
I haven't seen that one.
So fucking funny. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
The best dancing, short form dancing I've seen lately is we've been watching a lot of Bob's Burgers whenever I get home from work, and the Adult Swim. They have, they always have like weird, like going from show to cutting to the commercials, and they always have like a weird Adult Swim, and it's just something weird happening on screen.
Like down in the corner.
Well, no, it's just like they cut to like a scene like before the commercials start, and it's just like something weird.
Yeah.
And like it's always like some weird animation dancing, and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is cool. Like it was just like human bodies with a cat head, and they're just doing like the same dance. And I was like, I don't know, this is cool. I guess.
Hell yeah.
Whatever.
The high strange.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the film. Yeah, I think this movie is kind of brilliant and very well done. It looks great. And something that I find interesting is it's like not a horror movie throughout most of it. It starts as like a awkward kind of drama.
Kind of like a psychological.
And then it becomes like a psychological thriller
like
once the cult stuff really happens.
Yeah.
And then it becomes more of just a thriller whenever all the death happens. And then the last shot, it's like, that's horror. Because it has like one of my favorite from the past decade, probably one of my favorite final shots when all the other Red Lanterns.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
That
yeah,
was
they
wild.
said thousands of people are in this cult all over the country. So this is happening like in New York and mainly, I guess, LA. And I was like,
I thought it was just like trying to say that grief is everywhere. Everyone has grief, and maybe that now that they step away from their grief, they see like the world is fucking dangerous outside. But no, you're probably right. Like, no, I missed the part about them saying
that might be a good like allegory for it though. It's like, hey, look, everybody's hurting.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
Jason, great. That rules.
Everybody's killing each other at dinner parties all the time.
Maybe not like the killing each other at dinner parties, but the whole idea that grief is everywhere and it's like all around you. And it's like, hey, let's all work together and trying to fix our grief. Because I think there's an important part where Kira, is that her name? Kira. She's, I just want to say Kira. I don't know why. It's not even spelled that way. But like when she's like, hey, we can get through this. And he says, you're not going to be able to help me. And then, towards the end where it's like, hey, no, everybody's surrounded by grief. So let these people in.
Yeah.
Damn. Hell yeah, Jason. I feel really good right now because of this. Love it. Might not be the meaning of the whole movie, but like I like that idea that that's what it could mean. If you want to look at it outside of just like what you're seeing, I guess, That's really cool.
And then they held hands. They're like, we're going to get through this together.
Exactly. Fuck, Jason. Hell yeah. Leave us a review and subscribe to us, baby, because that was some good stuff. Everybody's like, wow, it wasn't that great.
It was so deep.
People are like, yeah, that's what we knew the whole time. So there's very little facts. So I'm just going to say the very few that I could find on IMDb trivia. I usually try to broaden, watch some interviews and stuff, and It's such
Here's a fact. Everybody's hot except for Pruitt.
yeah, poor Pruitt. Everybody's very attractive in this movie.
Yes.
It's like nobody has this many attractive friends.
Yeah.
Where's
I don't know,
enough?
man.
I need one logo. And can we just say something? Our boy, the Asian guy that shows up, Choi.
Yeah, Choi.
Choi. Can I just say, our boy Choi? Man, I wish he didn't come.
Our Choi boy.
Our Choi boy. I feel so bad for him.
I know.
He shows up late. It immediately is insanely weird for him. He's like, I just got here. Like, can I have some wine? And then he just ends up going. It's like, bro, don't let him show up next time. And I hate that he shows up. I mean, I love it in the
it was kind of
movie. It's like, no, why did he have to show up?
I know you're like, oh, he got out. Good. Nope.
Well, and it's just like, because Will just throws a fit. He's like, where is he? And then he shows up and he's like, God dang it. All right. So I'll run down through a few of the facts. There's not a lot, but something I do like about this. So the director and the writers had complete creative control on the film as it was independently produced without any involvement from major studios.
Wow.
So they got to do whatever they wanted. And it was a really good movie. And if you look up, hey, what's some movies I should watch for October? It's almost on every single list.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, hey, let these people make their damn movies, y'all.
Yeah, man.
And also the director of this film, Karyn Kusama, she did Jennifer's Body.
Ooh.
Do you like that movie? That movie's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of a wild movie. She also directs some of Yellow Jackets.
Oh, interesting.
She directed the movie Girl Fight, which was Michelle Rodriguez. It's her first film.
I heard it was good though.
Yeah, it's on Criterion. I need to get it now. She also did, The Outsider, the Stephen King movie.
Haven't seen that one.
Or show that was on HBO. Is really good. Half of it is really good. I feel like it starts really well and just kind of like fades over time. But yeah, she's turns out to be a really good director. She does a lot of TV now and stuff. What was that? And she's also married to one of the writers who this is his best thing he did because he did like R.I.P.D. That really bad.
I didn't see that one.
Rest in peace, Detective Agency. It's so bad.
Wait.
It's got Ryan
Is that
Reynolds.
with the two boys?
Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges? Not Jeff Bridges.
I don't know. I think I have seen a couple of those episodes. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's a movie.
Oh,
that
okay.
one is. Yeah, it's really bad.
I was thinking of a detective show where these two young guys are like, so they can see ghosts and they're solving murders and trying to help the ghosts pass on.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. I just can't remember what it is. Is it Ghosted?
It's like the Good Boy Detective Agency or some shit.
Oh, man, I've seen this and I cannot believe I can't remember what it was. So there was supposed to be a few different actors in this movie. So apparently Zachary Quinto was supposed to be in it. He was in Heroes. He was like the bad guy in Heroes, if I can remember it right. He plays
Nuclear
Spock.
Man?
He plays Spock in the new Star Wars
Oh,
or
yeah.
Star Trek movies.
I like the new Star Trek movies.
Yeah, they're fun. Luke Wilson was supposed to be in this.
No shit.
Owen Wilson's brother. And Topher Grace was also originally cast in this movie. That'd have been a crazy different movie. That's like a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Especially with Topher Grace in there, because I want to know who they were supposed to all be playing. Luke Wilson, I feel like, would have been Will. Zachary Quinto would have been David. Topher Grace? I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe one of the gay boys.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But anyways. Have you seen Zachary Quinto's, like, the ads for his new movie, like the Good Doctor, like some special doctor thing? You should watch an ad for it. It looks crazy. I want to watch it, but not really because it looks terrible at the same time. Let's see. There is literally, I guess just for like the spoiler type of facts. So all the wine at the party is poured directly from the bottle into the final round, which is poured from a decanter. And I was very, like, this time watching, I was like, I want to know, like, which wine, like, are they using, or when we see them actually put, like, stuff in the wine or whatever. And then as soon as I saw the decanter, I was like, gotcha. It's the only one that's different.
You mean it's not an $8 million bottle of wine?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more like a sherry or something because they're pouring in those teeny glasses.
Yeah, right.
So I guess maybe it was
if someone poured me wine in a tiny glass like that, I'm like, I don't know if you know, we're on like our 800th bottle tonight because in movies you can drink as much as you want without ever going into a blackout coma.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm going to need a little bit more than this. So also there is one thing. So to do all the night shoots, they didn't want to shoot at night. So they put a giant tent over the house,
Whoa.
I guess, so that like it's constantly night out and they won't,
filled it full of fumes.
have to like, especially because in LA, I mean, it doesn't get dark till like 10 p.m.
Yeah,
So you'd be shooting from like 12 to like 6 a.m.
that's interesting.
So they just put a tent over it so they can do whatever they want.
That's cool.
Which is great. And then obviously this seems pretty heavily based off of the Heaven's Gate cult, especially with ritualistic suicide and, they drank something and they all die and they're like Nike Air Jordans,
Yeah.
tracksuits.
I feel like that's the only thing with this cult. It's just death. Like there isn't really much to it.
Anytime someone talks about transcending, you're in a cult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Because even most religions do not talk about transcending earlier than you're supposed to, just naturally die. If anybody ever talks in a cult about transcending, you need to get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just not going to work.
But I feel like a lot of with this cult in particular, I mean, yeah, they can kill themselves, and I would appreciate them doing that. But like, you don't have to bring other people into it. What was the whole point of that?
I know. Like, why make a cult just to?
Do we want to be with you in heaven? So we're gonna take you out with us?
Yeah, it's like, hey, we don't want to just enjoy ourselves here. We want to be. I mean, I guess because it's, it's a trap. I mean, it's just, I don't know, like, because we don't really see how much the one dude is, and also if it's a bald guy that looks older and kind of spacey, and he's the leader, he's gonna want to kill you. So get out of that cult. But there's this. I don't know. I don't really understand the point of killing everybody. I mean, I guess he believed what he was talking about, but usually most cults, they don't believe it and they're just trying to get money out of you. And
Yes.
it doesn't seem like this cult was, I mean, obviously they had to give some money.
So it's not a real cult
Sure.
because they didn't care about money.
And like, we don't know. Maybe that main guy didn't die. It just everybody ends up dying.
Yeah.
But it seems like if you're going to cause mass chaos everywhere, then he probably killed himself as well. And if you're going to be a leader of a cult and you want to be like a suicide cult or whatever, go through with it. Don't be a little bitch. Make sure you go through with it. Don't be like the Jonestown guy who's like, I'm not sure I actually want to do this after everybody just
Well,
drank
he had
everything.
his buddies shoot him instead of drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, he was trying not to, right? And then he was like, no, I don't want to do it. And then they're like, no, you have to. And they ended up shooting him or whatever.
Well, what a pickle I've put myself in.
Yeah. I don't know. Cults are crazy though. It's like, man, how does it start? Like, how can you just do it? And why don't I have one?
Right.
But cults are, it's like all cults, they could be good things. Like they could be a good thing if it's like, no, we're actually just all hanging out and having fun. But it seems like if you're in a cult and you're the leader or you're someone that wants to be the leader of it, you just end up ruining it, man.
Yeah.
Because if this cult was real and it was just like, yeah, we went to Mexico, we're all just like fucking and drinking and just having a good time and forgetting about all our pain.
That's just like a cool friend group.
Yeah, that's a great friend group. And you're just hanging out in a desert, doing drugs and being happy and not hurting anybody. It's great.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Why does it always have to end in tragedy? Why does it always got to be some sort of greed thing or psychological
Because you
thing? I don't know.
You gotta put out that carrot for everybody,
Yeah,
the carrot is the transcendence.
it's like a part of me just like wants to make a cult and just make it a good cult and like we
Ooh.
don't like steal people's money and stuff. We all just kind of all hang out and have a good time. If you don't want to hang out for a week, just like go off and just do something. I don't know. But it always has to be some crazy thing.
You could just have friendly get-togethers and then tell yourself that they're cults.
Yeah,
but then don't tell anyone.
next time friends come over and be like, yeah,
I've got a video to show you guys.
I lead this. All right. Well, there's not a lot of facts, though, and we kind of talked a little bit, so I think we should just get into the film because I've
Hell yeah.
pretty much put every little detail into the notes this time because there wasn't a lot of facts. So I was like, I guess I'll just go really in depth on the plot. So the movie. Oh wait, let me run down the characters. I always do this. So Will is played by Logan Marshall Green, aka Discount Tom Hardy, and when he doesn't have the beard, looks a little bit like Skeet Ulrich from
Yeah.
Scream. That's kind of crazy.
That's funny.
Kira is played by, oh man, her name, Mayatsi Corneldi.
Sure.
Yeah. David is played by Mitchell Husman. Said that wrong, probably, but he's in Hill House. He plays Steven
nice.
in Hill House.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
was good.
We started rewatching that last night. And
Oh,
as soon as
yeah.
I saw Steven, I was like, oh
It's so good.
Oh, it
so
is
scary.
I've already almost cried, and we're only 2 episodes in. Movie hits. I came home and Natalie was on episode 6, and like it was kind of at like the funeral, and Luke, the guy that like does heroin and stuff, is giving the speech about one of the people that died in the film, and he's just giving a speech, and I was like, Natalie, I'm about to cry, dude. The show is so good. You got Tammy Blanchard as Eden, Aiden Lovecamp as Ty the kid, Michelle Kruzik as Gina, Mike Doyle as Tommy, Jordi Villazio as Miguel, Jay Larson as Ben. Ben, love Ben. He's hilarious in this. Maria Delfino as Claire.
Yeah, she's cool. Oh, I always like her.
Claire?
Well, yeah.
Oh, the actress?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually don't know anything about her. Lindsay Brudge as Sadie, John Carroll Lynch as Pruitt, Toby Huss as Dr. Joseph, the guy in the thing.
Fritzl.
I mean, that's pretty much it. You got Carl Yoon as
Carl Jung?
Carl Yoon as
Jung?
Choi.
The psychiatrist or the psychologist?
I don't know. All right, bro, you ready?
Yes.
All right. The movie starts with Will. He's driving with his girlfriend, Kiera, through the Hollywood Hills because they got an invitation to attend a dinner party at the home he used to live in with his ex-wife, Eden. They've been together. It's been like 2 years since they all saw each other. Kiera mentions that Eden met her new husband while in grief counseling before their divorce. It's always good. Meet someone at your lowest point and then immediately marry them.
Yes. Settle.
Right. Will unexpectedly hits a coyote with his car to end its suffering. He kills it with a tire iron. Here's the thing. In Tennessee, we just gonna keep driving. They're like, sorry, man. You just gotta make it out of there.
Buzzards are already circling. We gotta go.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I feel like most people in Tennessee, you hit something, you just keep driving.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't know. I'd be too afraid to go up to a dying coyote because it would probably bite me.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. And also, usually, killing animals is always an omen for something bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like, it'll work itself out. We're gonna be late for the party.
We'll be fine. This is all right. And then it kind of cuts to the titles. You got like a jittery, blurry driving. It's kind of a dope score too.
It was an interesting way to do that.
Yeah,
the transition for that.
Because I felt like it gets you in the mind of like a loopy cult member.
Very erratic and weird.
And probably how you feel if you just hit a coyote and then got out and beat it with a tire iron. Yeah. It's probably how I'd feel too, And then you see like they're in the LA, the hills of California and stuff. And it always looks super nice and beautiful. I love this location.
Yeah, it's
in
really
California.
Cool. And their house is amazing.
Insane building houses on hills in places known for earthquakes. Pretty insane. Would never live there myself. And then they show up to the house. Kira asks, "Is this your house?" And then Will's like, "There's a lot of money in Eden's family. It was never mine."
Damn.
Well, I guess they didn't have a joint bank account.
Yeah, good for her. Still not prenup.
Yeah. So Will and Kira, they get to the home in the canyons of Los Angeles. Upon entering, Will has a quick flashback of a young boy coloring in his living room.
God damn it.
And this is where it's like, oh, so I'm going to die inside today. Okay, while watching this movie. So he's greeted by his friends he hasn't seen in 2 years. Tommy and his boyfriend, Miguel, a woman named Gina, who mentions her boyfriend, Choi, is running late, and former friends, Claire and Ben. Love this group of people.
Yeah, they're all really
They're all
nice.
so fun and good, especially Tommy and Miguel and Gina. They're so fun. They're like, yeah!
Gina's hilarious.
And then, of course,
Coke.
like, really, I like everybody. I don't know.
Except for David. Fuck him.
Yeah. Well,
I never liked him.
The cult people. The cult people are bad.
Well, even Eden in the beginning, like Eden's cool, and then like,
is she? Are we sure about that?
Well,
she walks out like, I'm floating. Oh,
yeah. She's.
Oh, I love you. Oh, you have some blood on your cheek.
Weird.
Let me lick my thumb and put it on your face right in front of your new girlfriend.
And then she just like licks it off seductively.
And then he's like, hey, lady, don't do this. But yeah, so Eden and her husband, David, approach Will.
I guess I liked her because her butt looks amazing in that dress.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway.
It was a nice dress. It was a nice flowy dress.
Very sheen.
I felt like I could wear that dress and be comfortable.
Yeah, you could.
So they approach Will and he reunites with them. David mentions they're going to celebrate that evening. Tommy tells Will to try the wine because it's very expensive.
It's very expensive.
I mean, this cult is smart. They got the best wine possible, and Well, because it's their last dinner.
Yeah.
It's the Last Supper
Just-
essentially, and
Just
go out. Buy everything you
Fuck yeah,
can,
man.
make the best dinner you
But
can.
that food was good.
Yeah. Oh man, when they do the shot of the food, I was like,
Oh,
I'm hungry. I just ate, but
it's
I'm
all
hungry.
poison, is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love this because you're immediately like, oh no, these people look like they are a little bit loopy. And then I love this, the planting seeds of drinking wine, right? They've just been forced, they just shove wine down everybody's throats constantly.
Yes, except for Will.
And everybody's super uncomfortable constantly. So they're all drinking until it's not uncomfortable anymore. Everyone toasts. Will notices a half naked woman eyeing him from the bedroom. She is Sadie, and soon she emerges and introduces herself. Eden tells the group that she met Sadie in Mexico. She's straight up she's a Manson girl, right?
Yeah, and I guess she lives here now, and
Yeah.
she just comes out of her room. Oh, someone's here. I guess I better put on some clothes.
Like, damn, I forgot that we had company. I planned on not wearing pants all day.
Yeah, I have those days
And
too.
of course, she's immediately super into Will. Like, it's like, oh man,
Flirty fishing.
it's like, great. This guy's really gonna be. This guy's gonna have to go through it. He's gonna be sad about his wife, his ex-wife, and his son.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to be dealing with the awkwardness of seeing his friends for the first time, and his girlfriend is meeting his ex, and it's like, oh, this guy's got a long night ahead of him.
Well, what I hated about David from the beginning is when he met him for the first time and he gives him a hug. Already, no, thank you. And then he grabs him by the back of the head.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
It's like that thing. People who are very spiritual think that they can just like touch you because it's all spiritual. We're all touching each other. We're all a part of one here,
Yes.
which is fine. Just don't touch me. Okay.
A nice handshake.
Think
would
what you want.
suffice.
Don't touch me like that. Kira tells the group about how Will hit a coyote with his car and killed him with a tire iron. David admonishes that Will was putting him out of his misery. And it's like, hey, David, don't agree with me, dude. I don't like you. And also a weird time to tell that we hit a coyote, randomly. You can tell that she's like, I have nothing to say here. We hit a coyote.
Yeah, that was traumatizing a little bit.
But also, like, I don't know what I was going to say.
And is there no animal control in Los Angeles that you can call?
There's just a ton of coyotes, I think. It's
Yeah.
probably just one of those things. I mean, I don't feel like most people, when they hit things, call animal control.
I mean, okay.
I've never done it. I also don't hit a
guess
lot
I
of
haven't
things.
either.
I've
Usually it's either dead or it's running away, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, usually, like, if you hit a deer here, it just, like, wiggles itself away. And it's like, I won't feel good for the next couple of days because
Dude,
of
I hit
this.
one when I was in Texas. It jumped over the car, but it hit the hood of the car and
Yeah.
it launched it like 20 feet up in the air, and it landed in the ditch on the side and just got up and took off running. I was
So
like,
crazy.
Jesus.
Man.
So awesome.
I will say, hitting something with your car always just, like, I just feel bad.
Yeah.
I just always feel bad for, like, the next week.
I've
I've only done it a couple times, but man, it's awful.
You think when he hit it, Will's like, oh, great. Now I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, now I'm the villain of this movie. Speaking of Will, he asks if he can look around a bit because he used to live here.
God damn it. Has somebody ever done that to you?
What, can I look around?
Yeah, they come to your house for a get together and they're like, hey, can I rummage through your stuff?
No, not really.
No, they've done it. to
Usually
me.
they've always been like, I don't know. There's not much to look at.
Well, I was like, hey, she was like, hey, can I go look? She used to live there when she was a kid. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, can I go look around? And she wanted to go back to the bedrooms. I was like, that's my bedroom. I don't feel comfortable.
Oh, just a random person came to your house?
Well,
asked to
we
look
knew
around?
her, but
Oh.
but still, my room wasn't. It was kind of closed off for a reason.
I would be like, how about in a week you can after I clean up the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Will ventures into the kitchen to get a glass of water, and he has a flashback to a pain-stricken Eden trying to kill herself with a knife over the same sink.
Yeesh.
Eden joins him in the kitchen, though. He asks her why there are bars on the window. Never a good sign. She tells him that it's for her own safety because she lived there alone for a while. He checks her wrists because he just
Yeah.
grabs her and checks it, and it's like, oh, dude.
Nice watch.
Yeah. He says she looks different. She mentions her time in Mexico again and tells him she is different and free from pain now. And this pisses Will off, obviously. This is kind of like a thing that Will goes through this whole time. He's so suspect of the fact that she found a way to be happy when he's miserable inside. and it's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's just like, how could she? And then you find out that it's just denial.
Drugs and denial.
Yay.
Yes. But I like the idea of him checking the wrist, be like, there's no way you're that happy.
That's cool.
There's got to be something wrong with you. He's constantly like, something's going on with her. There's no way she's this happy.
He's like, grabs a knife, here, let me help you with that.
Yeah. I mean, if one of the last times you saw your wife, she was trying to kill herself, it's like, you're just like, there's no way that you're this normal.
Well, she must have found something really healthy and that works.
Yeah. And it must have been in Mexico where everybody goes to get healthy. Actually, I don't know. There might be. I'm sure there's a bunch of retreats in Mexico.
Yeah, there are.
So, and then Ben comes in, interrupts, and Eden now tells Ben that grief and pain are optional and just a chemical reaction, and they can be changed and expelled from their bodies. What do you think about that?
Nope.
Not possible.
I mean, everything in your brain is a chemical reaction, sure.
Yeah.
There is some debate over whether that is our consciousness. Is it made up of just these chemical reactions? I think so, maybe. But like,
I mean, they probably really is. It's just your brain.
Yeah, because you can alter people's consciousnesses by altering their brain, right? You cut out a chunk of their brain like Hannibal, they're not going to have the same consciousness as they did before.
That's true. And usually for all my medical and brain problems, I do go straight to the TV show Hannibal. Never seen that. Need to watch that. Ben tells her she sounds like a pamphlet and teases her about her new philosophy. She tries to take it in jest. You can just see her. She's like, motherfucker. But when he tells her the philosophy sounds crazy, she slaps him hard across the face and exits. She says, if you make a joke about everything, you'll never learn from anything. This is why no one takes you seriously. If I'm Ben, that's when I leave.
Yeah.
I don't talk to anybody. I walk out the door and I send a group chat to everybody.
And that's what.
Hey, by the way, guys, Eden slapped me across the face in the kitchen. I don't like being slapped across the face, so I left.
It's going to be a slapping party.
Golly. It's insane. Ben says that Will never lost his mind like Eden did. Ben asks Will how he's been doing. Given what he's gone through, Will seems broken and somber still, though.
I didn't understand what these people, how they were good friends, obviously, before all this happened. And then, like, they're such good friends. How do you have so many friends that are this close?
I don't know.
That are, did they go through something horrible together? Because that's what makes me think.
I would just assume they've been friends
just their whole fucking life.
College, and then they all stayed in the same general area, so they're all able to meet up all the time.
Yeah, I guess.
A lot of people just have like a group of friends. I'm not. Some people are social. Some people are social. Unlike us. I'm like, I'll have a solid friend group, but like
my brother-in-law has a huge friend group, and they're all pretty, and like I just don't get it.
You walk in there, I'm like, damn it, I'm the ugliest guy here.
Yes, exactly.
They need me though. There has to be one.
I keep them humble.
Yeah. I make them feel better about themselves. Yeah. Like, hey, it's the ugly guy. Get in here.
Oh, thank God.
We're all going to take a selfie and you're going to look awkward. I think you're handsome.
Hold your breath, Jason. Makes you look bigger.
Yeah. All right. Ben says his kids are with his wife and they're all together. He says him and his wife hate each other, but he stays for the angry sex.
Yeah, that's healthy.
It's so angry. I just can't get enough of it. It's a terrible way to live your life. So they go back in. Eden apologizes to Ben when they reemerge from the kitchen and offers him a drink, which he says he will never refuse. Just like, run. She can't act just that normal after slapping you. There's something wrong with their brain right now.
It's a sorry drink.
Nope.
Sorry.
Doesn't exist. That is...
I don't know. If somebody gave you an $8 million glass of wine, just say sorry. I mean...
I drank it and be like, ooh, I left something in my car.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
And then I leave. Because you're in an abusive friendship.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. So Claire steals Will away and they catch up on things. They talk more about how they haven't seen each other in years. They watch the gang have fun and they look like they're having a lot of fun. It's kind of sweet. But Claire says it's weird being there. Like, no doy.
Yeah.
A stranger arrives named Pruitt, played by John Carroll Lynch. He's great. I love that man. He's in Zodiac. Watch it. Because he's so creepy in that. Creepy. He's such a great, lovable, creepy guy.
Yeah. And he makes a good goon.
Yeah, he really does. Pruitt, who seems beloved by Sadie, Eden, and David. As soon as he walked out, I was like, leave. Everybody leave.
I
Gina.
think Claire has the right of it.
Yeah, she's so correct.
Even though, does she leave?
She does not. We'll get there.
Okay. Sorry.
Gina complains about Troy not being late. She complains about not having service up there in the hills. Will looks on, taking what everybody is saying in, because he's very suspect.
Yeah.
I love a nice suspect antagonist.
I mean, are you suspect from the beginning because your ex-wife invited you to a dinner party?
Yeah.
With her new husband? Like,
well, I think at first he's like, I don't know what this is going to be like. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of like, it's very awkward. It's going to be weird.
Open to the idea of kind of mending
and
things.
Then I think when he saw how happy she is and like the new guy, David, and then she got Sadie, he's like, no, this ain't right. Something's off here. Something's got to be wrong. That's why he checks the wrist. David locks them all inside and notices Will staring at him as he does. He explains to Will that there's been home invasions in the canyon about a month earlier.
Yeah, but usually doors can be opened if they're locked from the inside.
Yeah, it's called, there's windows everywhere. You can just break them.
But like,
there's doors that are doll windows.
But the locks on the doors are usually made so that anyone can just open them to get out.
Yeah.
But this one is
apparently not.
This one definitely not.
Yeah, and a little later we find out that there's been some remodeling, and I'm pretty sure for this reason.
Yeah. We just want to keep everybody in.
Yeah, for your safety. Will suggests David leaves the key in the door in case they need to get out in an emergency like a fire. David complies reluctantly. David says it's his house now.
Yeah, you're in my house now.
It's my house. I'll do what I please.
God damn it.
Eden asks Will to get some firewood. It's like there's more tension between Will and David.
God damn. I know, like, oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry. Anybody locks me into the house to be like, if you do not unlock that and keep it unlocked, I will throw a chair through the window so I know there's a way out of this place. Just like, there's just like red flags everywhere, but everybody's getting drunk. Everybody wants to be around these people that they loved for so long that they haven't seen in a while. And you're just not.
Maybe it's like one of those church lock-ins that I used to be forced to go to.
Yeah, man, that's so crazy. That was a thing that people did. You're locked in here all night. In a room. But they were always so fun. We always played video games and hide and seek in giant rooms and stuff.
Yeah, we just ate junk food till we got sick. And
yeah, it was great. Pizza, baby. So yeah, Eden talks to Kira. She asks if Will is always so agitated. And then while Will is going to get firewood, Will pauses by a bedroom, but then continues on to the backyard to get firewood. And then we see he has a flashback of a children's birthday party.
So, yeah. Ugh.
It's in his mind, at least. You don't really quite see it here.
Yeah.
And then from outside, Will sees Eden enter her bedroom and shove something into a nightstand. Will returns inside with the wood and then sneaks into Eden's room. He finds bottles of pills and an unmarked pill bottle.
That's safe.
And pockets one.
Thief.
He's like, it's like, I'm going to figure out what this is and then probably just take it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to eat it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. As he leaves, David walks in and it's super awkward for a second. He's like, we're ready for you now. It's like,
Jesus.
Why did you have to put it that way? Just say, hey, we're all getting together in here. Just come on.
Do people hate it so much when you leave the group?
Yeah.
Like, give me a minute, dude.
It's like, I need to make sure I can see all of you. And then he looks at the master bathroom and has a flashback to Eden and him in a bathtub and their young son walking in to say goodnight. It's funny. I put in my notes because he walks in and they're like bathing each other and like, hee, we're so cute and in a loving relationship. And then he walks in and I'm like, this is gross and weird. And then after the kid walks out, she's like, man, you just saw his gross and weird parents about to have sex. And I was like, hey, so it was gross and weird.
And then she's like, that makes me so turned on.
I
Let's
also
have another baby.
Did not like how the kid smiled at him while they're in the bathroom. I'm like, well, this kid was going to have some sort of problem at some point.
Yeah, it'd be funnier if there's like some fart bubbles coming up through the bathtub. Then that would have been great. Then the kid would have been like, "Oh, good, bye, mom, you're gross."
Is it Dumb and Dumber where they fart in the hot tub?
The second one,
yeah,
where they're the honeymoon suite.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've seen the second one though, but I think it's in.
Maybe it's
definitely
in the first
one.
one
It's
too.
in one,
I don't know.
Or it's in some sort of movie like that. And then Eden asks Will if their son needs a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, you just assume it's gonna be your brother, huh? So in the
we dash the girls on the rocks.
So in the living room, everyone is talking about how Eden, David, and Sadie and Pruitt are in a cult called the Invitation, which is why they were in Mexico. Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's
No,
not a
what?
cult.
No, they're all
What?
like-
You silly.
Then everybody's very lighthearted about it. They're kind of teasing them. And it's just like, yeah, hey, you guys, if y'all guys lived, you've seen a lot of Netflix documentaries about how these things don't go well. David tells them it's a group that comes together to help each other in their grief, and that now has thousands of members all over. Boom, boom, boom.
Brr.
As they inquire
Interesting.
more, David says he wants to show them a recruitment video,
No.
and everybody
No.
is super excited, and people think they lock the doors so they can convert them.
Can we just watch that video of the horse body slamming that woman again?
What?
It's just, I sent it to you. Oh, I sent it to you on Insta.
Oh, I haven't looked at it yet.
It's so funny because I hate horses.
Oh, really?
Because they're scary.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Yeah,
Anyway.
a lot of people get hurt by horses.
You have to check it
I've
out.
seen people get hurt by horses before
It sucks.
because we had 4 of them growing up.
That's interesting.
They're all gone now. R.I.P.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a bummer. Thanks a lot, Jason.
they're in that glue factory in the sky.
Now I have to go to a cult to feel better. So the video is hosted by a leader who tells them that the human brain has the ability to heal, and he has made his life work to rewire traumatic experiences. He says they are not alone, and they transcend. Also, never join a cult that has an older balding man talking about transcending. I already said that earlier.
Just means death.
But yeah. It then cuts to a woman in bed surrounded by the leader and cult members as they assist in her suicide. She talks about seeing her family and friends after she dies. He asks other members to breathe in and feel her spirit. They say they can. It's BS. You're just scared and looking for something to believe in, so you convince yourself of it. Because if you don't, you will be missing out.
Jeez.
That's what I personally feel.
Oh, yeah.
That was my own thoughts. I just said it like I was continuing. To read it.
Yeah, and it's just being a part of a group,
Yeah.
even if it's just for grief, is helpful.
I feel like if you're with people and you're all like vibing on the same thing, you kind of can believe anything, right?
Yes.
That's like the whole point of cults.
Yeah.
If you're around enough people that believe something, you'll start believing it yourself.
Yes.
Because your brain's weird. So-
Especially if it's just like the ladies or the flirty, fishy ladies,
Yeah.
and you're just trying to impress them. There's a
Yeah.
really great Adam Sandler song. It's not a song, but it's like a bit on one of his CDs that came out in the 90s.
hell
Have you heard
yeah.
that one?
I've
The
heard all
nighttime
his
is the
albums.
right time. The nighttime is the right
Oh
time.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, fuck the sun. The sun sucks.
Wasn't there like a there's
It
like
was
a
the
real,
girl.
there was like a really funny goat one on one of those, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe on my way to work I should just listen to it. I wonder if they're on Spotify.
I don't know.
They have to be. So in the living room, this scene unnerves all the people that aren't in a cult because they're not in a cult.
They don't like watching people die on
Yeah,
video.
apparently it's not very good
I get
to
it.
watch. Eden tells them the woman was sick and she let her death be filmed to show others that it's nothing to be afraid of. And they just seem really hung up on the filming of the death, which of course, because it seems
Yeah.
like someone
Now it's a party.
is trying to profit off this lady's death. But yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of when you die if you get to die peacefully in a bed and it's,
Surrounded by loved ones.
and dying before you completely decay,
yeah.
because she, like, the
You
point
think
is that
she-
they like suicided her.
That was
That's-
assisted suicide.
yeah, that's
sort
what
of?
that's what I got from
Dude, have you
it.
seen those? Have you heard about those suicide
In
pods?
Sweden.
Yeah. I want to check one out.
Crazy.
Just to,
Yeah.
just to not use it, but like.
Hold on, I have someone I got to call real quick. No, I mean it's definitely
I
like
wonder
something.
if they're comfortable. I bet they are.
Yeah, are you like pro suicide pods?
Yeah.
Like
I
if
mean,
you're terminally ill from cancer and you
sure.
want to go out the way you want to?
yeah.
I feel like that
I
is
feel like it should be your
a controversial thing, but I agree with you. Just think it would. I don't know. We're not going to get into it because this is
We're
a
gonna
movie
go check
podcast.
out the pods.
Yeah. So Will kind of pushes on them a little bit more about this whole thing. David, Eden, and Pruitt and Sadie are all saying it's just showing that death isn't scary and it's all about communion. David tells them that he used to do cocaine to deal with his grief, but he has been centered since joining the invitation because his wife died, and that's how he coped with it.
I
Was
didn't
doing
catch
cocaine.
that part. I just
Yeah,
thought he loved cocaine.
because a little later he said, Will's like, I know you've went through something with your wife, but you do not know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
David brings up what happened to Eden and Will. Will snaps at bringing up what happened to him. He's like, don't.
Fuck that shit.
You can talk about all you want with her, but not me. I have not coped with this properly yet.
Yeah, and plus telling people that have gone through something like that this is what you need.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it's like, it's something, if you're ever trying to comfort people, don't try to be like, well, this happened to me. And then, so this situation is like that.
Same.
Just be there and say you're sorry. And it's like, what can I do? Let's just talk. You just let your feelings out. Just be a listening ear. Okay. Eden says that she is finally happy despite the grief she used to feel every day. Will snaps again. He's mad about how easy it is for her, but also he knows that she's using drugs to numb the pain. Tommy walks him away and Eden looks distraught because her drugs aren't helping her enough, apparently. And now the whole group is uncomfortable.
I bet they do help because when they said it was phenobarbital, the barbiturate, and he's like, it's old. It's like an old medicine. Like,
yeah, I don't really know what that is.
It's like the shit that who's the singer? Like Elvis and everybody was on, like Quaaludes, shit like that.
Oh, okay, like numbs you a little bit.
Fucks you up.
Yeah, okay, I get you. And luckily during all this uncomfortableness, the doorbell rings, so like snapping everybody out of it. Pruitt and David answers the door and talks to some unseen neighbors. Yeah. At the same time,
I bet they were like, "You having your party?
Yeah,
we are too."
Hey, I just want to let you know, I already killed everybody in my house. Y'all need any help?
So I just need to ask you a question. Like, what do we do now?
It's like, yeah. Like I decided not to drink it. I just kind of like the killing part of it.
I wanted to see him transcend first before I tried it myself.
Yeah, I want to make sure you guys are all gone. At the same time, Gina approaches Will and apologizes for keeping her distance over the years. She explains that she had been trying to give him space to deal with his grief. It's like, yeah, I get it, but usually it's like you kind of need both space and your friends. It's weird. It's like a hard thing to manage, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people want people around them after losing someone, and some people are just like,
some people isolate.
I want to be alone for a week.
Yeah.
But then, don't wait 2 years. I mean, that's insane. Which we don't know. We haven't seen everything. Maybe at some point they're like, hey, you want to hang out? And he's like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Will is completely distracted by David at the front door. David tells Will that it's just some neighbors looking for a party. Like, hey, no one showed up at my death cult party. Can I join yours?
Or maybe he's like, maybe they were just being legit, and he's like, oh, you don't want to come to this party.
Yeah.
This is a different kind
just
of party.
walk around. If you see a red lantern, don't go to that house. Okay? Will stares at Kira, and then notices Sadie staring at him. That girl wants to fuck. Will shows the pills he took from Eden's bedroom to Miguel, who is a doctor. He is told that it's barbiturate, which is only dangerous if you take too much of it. And then we cut to the group is given wine again, and they all toast. Miguel immediately says they think they are on pills figuratively. Because, so they walk out and they go to David and Pruitt, who are all, handing them wine and stuff. And Will's like, hey, don't mention that I brought up pills. And then Miguel immediately,
pills.
So Will thinks you're all on pills figuratively.
Damn it, Miguel. And there's nothing wrong with being on pills.
And they're like, no, we're not, whatever. And then David and Pruitt walk away. Will's immediately, did you really have to do that? But Tommy and Miguel are there to have a good time, baby.
But I could see, because I've done something like this, not to this extent, and this, because this is super awkward, but
and crazy, and that would be insane.
But if someone tells you don't mention this one silly, embarrassing thing, and
always happens.
But if it's in a close group of friends, you can just bring it up and laugh about it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is more serious.
Yeah, but David and Pruitt, who you don't know, is right there. Yeah. This is not the people you tell.
No, who are these fucks?
Honestly, if you don't want someone to bring something up, don't tell them not to bring it up. Yeah. That's what I've learned in life. Just be like, hope they forget about it. Because if you make it a note and say, this is something I don't want you to remember or talk about, they'll always remember and eventually talk about.
Yeah, because this is freshly on your mind.
Yeah. And you always think, man, he really was obsessed with those drugs. But anyways, Will asks Tommy and Miguel if they feel that the night is strange, but Tommy tells them it's just a friendly, harmless reunion. Tommy and Miguel make a joke about it, but Will is still very serious.
Will's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah. Will's great.
He's doing great.
Yeah. See, it's like sometimes it's okay to have a little grief. You're going to be you're going to be a little on edge, and you're going to be noticing your surroundings a little bit more.
And everyone grieves differently.
Yeah.
You never know how you're going to react.
Yeah, exactly.
I do some weird shit when I'm grieving. Just putting that out there.
I don't really know what I do. I'm just a robot, so I'm just like, all right, let's just continue with life, I guess. So to apologize for forcing everyone to watch the video, David suggests they all play a game that he learned in the invitation called I Want, where everyone just expresses what they want. The point is to be honest. I'd be like, I'm not playing. This is a weird game.
I want to not play.
Let's play Never Have I Ever instead.
Yes.
Not, hey, there's 2 people we do not know, and one lady seems like a Manson girl, so I don't want to play with her. Also don't want to play Never Have I Ever with her because she's going to get drunk immediately, probably.
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like Never Have I Ever is a pretty safe way to get to know people. That could be fun, even with new people.
I don't know.
But expressing your deepest desires.
Yeah, what you want, and then whatever you want, you're going to get right then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because Sadie starts saying she wants to tell everyone that she loves them, naming everyone by name.
Thanks, Sadie.
She then says a lot of people don't say they're afraid, but they are, and she loves them.
What if she's like, you're going to say you love me too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Then Sadie then kisses Gina hard on the lips. Yikes. Gina, though, says, I want some of that Coke you used to do. Here's the thing. After everything Sadie does, that's when I leave.
No, I wouldn't have left yet. I think it's after Pruitt.
Yeah, after Pruitt.
That would have been the line.
I'm kicking down the door. I don't care. I don't know. Golly, that's crazy. We're about to get there. But yeah, Gina says she wants to do some Coke. Turns out David actually has some. She tells him she was just kidding and says she wasn't, which was the point of the game. She accepts the Coke, though.
So he's probably still doing Coke, right? If he's got it.
I guess. Maybe he had it there just in case.
It's just hidden all over the house.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely probably still does it.
This is just in case.
Because it seems like everybody still does what they used to do. Like Eden is still grieving. Obviously, she's just using drugs. David obviously is kind of on edge. He has like psycho kind of behind his eyes, probably from Coke. Pruitt definitely still wants to kill people. And
I was going to say like he used to drink, and that's what I guess we're about to. Well,
he always like had anger in him and stuff, and he's like it never went away. And then Sadie's just a cuckoo head.
I'm not angry anymore.
Yeah. So then we get to Pruitt. Pruitt says, "I want to tell you about my wife, Margaret."
My wife.
He tells him that she died when he got in a fight with her, and after he assaulted her, she fell and hit her head and died.
Jesus Christ. He's like, I hit her as hard as I could.
Yeah.
And she died. But it's all better now.
So I wish and I hit her as hard as I could. Oh, no applause? I mean, it was a pretty hard hit. I mean, I thought I'd get one applause. I mean,
it was a real home run.
I one punch killed somebody. Which reminds me of, did you ever watch The Reacher with Tom Cruise?
I don't know.
Well, there's a part in it where like this guy like hits a girl and then like smothers her with his hand, and then she dies. And like a part of it's like, man, someone hit this woman so hard with one punch it killed her. I always think about that.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just kind of like, oh man, I never thought about putting that in a movie as like a way of like confusing someone being a detective or something.
You're just adding skills to your repertoire.
Yeah. So Pruitt tells him he served jail time 7 years for the mistake, but it didn't help rid him of the angry person he was. It wasn't until he joined the invitation that he became a better person, and he can't wait until the day Margaret and him can be together again.
Which is today.
And anytime someone says, I can't wait for this, and they look like him,
right.
It's not very good, guys.
It would
have
been
funny
funny if you would have been like, I can't wait till I get to see her this evening.
Yeah.
I mean, soon.
But something I love about it is how kind of sweet it starts. Because at first he's like, oh, I loved my wife. We were great.
It was kind of a neat love story.
And then it becomes a nightmare.
And then I beat the fuck out of her.
Because you can kind of see everybody being like, oh, and then even Will's like, But also, like Will kind of starts crying during this because whenever he's talking about like his grief and his anger and how he hopes to be with her again, because what Will wants is to be with his son again.
Sure.
Could see that he could be somebody that might get brainwashed into a cult.
Yeah, he's close.
Yeah. And I love that like they're selling this cult without even meaning to.
It's like getting invited to a party and really it's just an MLM.
Yeah. Well, it's just like cults seem like good cults, like good at being a cult, seem to turn like everybody's story into a selling point without them even knowing it. It's like, no, just go spread how like what the cult has done for you. And like, but they're so brainwashed, they don't realize it's happening. They're just like, oh no, you're actually just selling the cult for us. Thanks. Also, I guess the moral of the story is prison didn't help this man.
Nope. Prison needs reform.
Claire's very uncomfortable. She's feeling like she's being sold something with all the talk of the invitation. Eden then interrupts to tell them that she wants to kiss Ben. Ben plays along, giving her a little peck, but then she full on kisses him instead.
Yeah, get it, girl.
And everybody's thinking this is fun.
It's so Claire.
Because usually, you know, like, I guess in movies, like when you're at a dinner party and everybody starts kissing, everybody's like, hey, this is fun. This is like we're in college or high school again. We're all having fun. Then Tommy says he wants a blowjob.
Yay.
But then Claire says she's uncomfortable and wants to leave. But then, of course, David's trying to convince her to stay. But Will tells him she should just let her leave if she wants to fucking leave.
Back off, David.
Yeah. I love it because
so uncomfortable.
Will's just like, let her go, dude.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to make her stay here? Just let her leave. It's like, I just love that Will's just like,
so much tension.
I want to leave so bad that I want everyone else to leave too.
Yes. And he's like, God, this scene is so, God, I was so tense.
It's wild. It's terrifying.
When he goes, he's like, she's like, I don't need you to walk me to my car.
It's only like 40 feet away.
And then he goes to watch her, and he's just the camera's just stuck on him watching her because he's like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
Oh damn!
You just see him walk out. But something Claire says to Eden is, "I'll see you again later." And I just love the face she has, like the actress
you
says.
Poor baby.
Well, because she's like, because you can see how sad it's making her. Because she's like, no, you won't.
I'm never gonna see you.
You
again.
can almost like the face she makes. It almost makes you think like, she seems like she might be having doubts. But when you're watching it for the first time, you don't really feel like it's something you might not notice. But knowing that like
really notice that.
Everybody's gonna die, and to her, she's never gonna see her in the place that they're all planning to go transcend to. So it's like it kind of makes her sad.
I'm so worried about Claire at this point. I'm like, and then Pruitt gets up. You're like, oh fuck.
And it's like, no, because it's like, oh wait, are you in the Prius? I'm parked behind you. Here's something, guys, to learn about parties. Never let anybody park behind you. Make sure you can always get out.
Yes.
Especially if you're someone that gets uncomfortable easily like me.
You need a route for egress.
Yeah. If you know you're going to be one of the first ones to go, never let anybody park behind you.
Have a plan.
Yeah. But she also didn't think anybody would park behind her because Pruitt wasn't invited.
She probably didn't think she was going to get murdered either.
That's true. Most people don't until they do. So Will watches from the window, suspicious. Pruitt does move his car, though, and lets Claire out.
Yeah,
everything seems happy.
Until you see Pruitt go, hey, wait, Claire.
Wait, Claire? Yeah.
Until she's right out of view of Will.
And then, of course, David interrupts right at the perfect time to where nobody can see what's happening.
Fuck off, David.
And convinces Will to talk to him alone. So there is a cut scene where Pruitt kills Claire. But they cut it because, they want it to build the suspense about what's going on, right? It's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, because I guess if he would have killed her, that would have just given the whole thing away.
Yeah, and then like all the little twists and turns of Troy not being there and stuff like that throughout the film wouldn't hit the same that it's supposed to. So David asks why Will is so suspicious of him, and he uses a word. It's like we chose you to be here. Oh, it's like we chose you to be at this party with us. It's like you chose. He says Will seems distant and off, worried about. Like with stuff like worried about David locking the door or Pruitt moving the car. Will apologizes, saying maybe he wasn't prepared to be at the home he used to live in with Eden and their son.
Yeah.
And then David says he understands why he is off, but Will says he doesn't pretend to understand what happened to his wife, so stop pretending to know everything about him. Love that line.
Hell yeah.
It's like sometimes you just want to say, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Stop acting like you know me, especially to people you just meet. It's like, we're not the same. I don't know who you are yet.
Yeah, we haven't made that connection yet.
Yeah. So the group has dinner, and I love it because you get all of them walking up the stairs, and you just get their feet like they're
that was kind of cool.
Like they're transcending.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I guess you're right.
And Will is mentally distracted. We see flashbacks to a birthday party where his son is accidentally killed in some unseen way. Pretty obvious though, because you got baseball bats clinging together and kids screaming. And
So they just sword fighting with baseball bats, or are they trying to hit?
You never done that?
No.
You never like hit baseball bats with your friends before?
Not metal ones. I mean, no, we just use sticks.
Oh, well, I played baseball, so we did that.
Okay. I did play baseball for a little while.
Never tried to hit each other in the face. But this
didn't
movie does
sword
kind of
fight.
make you think of all like the dumb things you did as a kid and just be
Yeah.
like, damn, man, I
Suppose.
did way too
You're
much.
so close to death constantly.
Yeah, did a lot of stuff with fireworks way
Yeah.
too young
Yeah.
and only with my friends.
Yeah.
But something I love about the scene, there's a lot of wild close-ups of people laughing and eating.
Oh, yeah.
And then towards the end, you just see Will screaming,
Yeah.
which I don't think actually happened. I think that's all mentally
It's
in his
all
head.
in his head. But like, yeah, you see him like it's what's the word? It's all like building. Like the way they eat is just getting crazy.
It's like
they're spilling the wine.
Yeah,
And like,
and it's like for him, it's even worse because he's so uncomfortable and does not want to be there.
Yeah.
So he's noticing how gross everything kind of
Yeah.
is, even though it looks all so fucking
doesn't look good.
delicious. Hungry thinking about it.
some of them didn't make any sense. Some of the food.
Yeah.
I just don't know food.
Well, I
guess.
think it was just like, hey, we made everything because you'll never eat again.
Yeah.
And
$10
then
million dinner table.
I just want to bring
full
up
of food.
again, everybody has had so much wine, and it's such a classic movie thing that people can just drink and drink and drink. Remember when I first started drinking more, and I was like, how do they do this in movies? Especially whenever you see like alcoholics with like scotch, and you're like, man, they drank a whole bottle of scotch. They're dead. There's no way they're just gonna have normal conversations anymore. It's gonna be blah, 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 right? Like,
Well, yeah, but like if you something the only interesting thing about the movie Coyote Ugly, right? Bad movie, horrible movie. But whenever she's teaching the bartender how to take shots from patrons and
Yeah.
like just spit it back out in this other bottle, like
oh,
it's
that's
like that is genius.
That's so smart. Yeah, it's very smart. You don't want to get wasted.
Don't want
at
to
a
be rude. Don't get
Coyote
wasted.
Ugly bar,
Still
that's
gotta
for sure.
work.
Yeah. I remember liking Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, I'm sure. You
I've
do.
only seen it as a kid. I have no idea if it's
So
any good
bad.
still. I know I almost bought it for my wife one time because I think she likes it.
It's a fun movie, but
No, it's okay.
It's just like
You hate Coyote
I
Ugly
do hate
and
it.
my wife. Thanks.
No, like
I have a box of wine in there. You want to take a sip real quick? Dun dun dun.
oh, maybe later.
So
Wait till
Will,
Natalie gets home.
so Will goes outside in the backyard to clear his head, and he tries to get a signal on his phone, find out why Troy isn't there. I feel so uncomfortable saying his name at the way it's spelled because it makes me want to say, not that. So I'm just kind of saying it quickly so it seems as like vague as possible how to say it. Anyways, when he returns to the house, he sees Sadie looking in the mirror, making grotesque facial expressions.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, she's practicing her face of death.
I thought she was. Oh, really?
That's what I got from it. She's like, because she's doing like, I feel like she's just practicing her death
She's
face.
such a child.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
She obviously seems like someone that like the California sun and drugs fried her brain.
Yeah.
So he goes out into the backyard again, and Sadie follows behind. She begins hitting on him, telling him she suspects things aren't going well with his girlfriend, tells him he can fuck her right then and there.
Dang, she knows all that.
She's
She
like,
just
you can
met him,
even
huh?
hurt me. And he's like, I don't want to hurt you. What are you
can tell
talking
she's
about?
had some trauma.
Yeah. And then she goes into a speech about not dying or denying themselves a pleasure, and that in Mexico, men and women would often have sex spontaneously. She tells Will he can make him like her so much she can make him beg her without even touching him. But she rejects the
Hey,
advances.
how about this? I'm begging you to leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Go away. Hey, guess what? I've been on a mental break. I'm like close to a mental breakdown all night, and it's pretty obvious to leave me alone.
Yeah.
But this is where things are about to start getting crazy here. So Tommy greets Will in the backyard. Will voices his concerns about the party, but Tommy tells him Claire left because she's sexually awkward, and Troy is unreliable, so his absence isn't suspicious. Tommy tells Will his behavior is freaking people out. I don't know. The spacey people inside would be freaking me out.
Yeah. Did you think for a moment that it was going to just go into an orgy? That was the whole point of the game?
No, I never thought there was going to be an orgy thing.
Well, like because they kept kissing each other, and that's just how it starts. you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there could have been like there's a chance where I'm like, there's going to be like a weird sex scene and people are going to walk in on it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like a blood orgy.
Yeah. But Tommy and Will hug. Tommy goes back inside. And then I'm just like, how about will you just leave? You know?
Claire seemed to be pretty successful at it.
You literally did everything you could to be normal at this party. I know you want to be there for Eden. I know that's what this is about for him. Because he's like, no, something's wrong with her. I need to get her out of this situation. That's kind of what I feel like Will is kind of going. He's like, she's doing drugs. This David guy's weird. There's these weird people, and it's like
he's worried about her.
Yeah, he's worried about his ex.
He still kind of has feelings for her because of the way they broke up. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what I kind of feel about it. So Will phones chirps. As he's able to get a signal briefly. And I love it. You got a great shot of the hills behind him.
It was pretty.
It's like you got LA on one side and like all the hills, and it's like, man, I want to live there.
Yeah, it was cool.
But also, I will never live there.
No, it's billions of dollars.
Because of earthquake.
That too.
He listens to his voicemail. It's from Choi, who says he has arrived at the party early and is about to go inside, but forgot the dessert he promised. He asked Will to pick it up instead so he doesn't have to go back down the canyon. This is where everything just is going to start.
You get that sinking feeling in your gut.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I put in my notes, I am nervous. Because a confrontation's about to happen. And you, like, just by the runtime, I know it's not ending anytime soon yet. So there's going to be a lot more of this. So Will just slowly joins everybody else at the dinner table. The lights are turned out and Eden comes in with a birthday cake for Miguel, even though it's a week away. It's not that crazy to have, if you haven't seen him in 2 years, you might not see him in a week, right?
Sure.
When the lights are turned back on, Will asks, where's Choi? Telling about the message he received from him while he was outside. And he says, like, he was right outside when he called me. It's starting to get awkward. I'm nervous just thinking about it. Eden and David say he never got there and everyone else is trying to calm Will, but he chastises the others for being polite and continues demanding to know where he is.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Fucking get it.
It's like, I just hate that I know what's about to happen. I know. Because I know that he's going to show up, so it makes this scene even harder to watch. He asks why they were invited to a dinner party after a 2-year absence with 2 strangers from a cult being present. All proper responses. He's not saying anything wrong here. He's completely in the right.
Legitimate concerns.
It's like everybody is being way too normal about this.
Yeah.
Because he goes to every single one of them being like, this is weird, right? The only one that was like, yeah, was the girl that left. So it's like, he's like in a house where he's just like, why is no one acting normal? So he chastises the invitation and says it's a brainwashing tactic and the cult teaches them just to deny everything by erasing their grief. He begs Eden to tell him where Choi is and asks David why there are bars at the windows and the doors are locked. He also points out that he found a large bottle of pills in Eden's room.
Like, you're going through our stuff?
Yeah, it's like, wait, what? You're so sneaky, bro.
Fuck, man.
Will's girlfriend.
At that point, do you ask that person to leave after you found them rummaging through your stuff?
Yes, and if they don't ask you to leave, there's something wrong. But at this point, from their perspective, they're like, oh, this is grief. This is a lot for him. He's just crazy.
He's already here.
We're not crazy, but he's like, he's struggling right now. We just got to get him through this, even though his friends don't help him by constantly staring at him. Kira tries to convince Will to leave with her, but then the doorbell rings. Wah, wah, wah. Because his girlfriend's like, all right, let's just leave. Okay,
yeah,
we're done. Let's go. And then Will's like, no. And it's like, this is what you've wanted the whole time.
Take me out.
But yeah, so the doorbell rings and guess who it is? It's Choi. Ooh, it's Choi who says he had to turn around after arriving early because he got a call from work. Everyone stares at Will as if he's officially lost his mind. He apologizes in tears to everyone, questioning the invitation. Thanks a lot.
He feels like he's lost his mind.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe I have been overreacting.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like, I also feel bad for Choi for one other thing. He arrived early because he's known for being late.
Yeah.
And of course he had to leave. And now everybody's like, why were you? Where were you?
They can't, they must have like a cell phone signal blocker in this house.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because he said like, he tried to call Gina and she's like, I didn't get it.
Yeah. And it kills me because everyone keeps seemingly trying to stop Will from leaving.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, it's crazy. Just let the guy leave. He obviously does not need to be here. Everybody should be like, no, we're done. We'll stay to keep this party going and to be like, well, we're going to talk about him behind his back a little bit. So let's just shove this guy out of here. He does not need to be here anymore.
And the phones, it was interesting. It just occurred to me. The phones work outside the house, but not inside the house.
Well, they kind of
work outside the house. Yeah. Because he got that a little bit of signal from Choi to get that
part of me
message.
wonders, like, maybe, like, since there's the cult all around him, and I'm sure everybody there knows, like, maybe they kind of set something up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Or maybe there's just no service in the hills.
Cold Mountain, apparently.
And I also love that Choi is probably definitely like, man, I kind of wish I just didn't show up now. Because it's immediately as awkward as can be when he gets there. And it's like, I would have been like, all right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, that's when Gina needs to break out the cocaine.
Yeah. Which we never see her do it. I wonder if she did it.
I know, so sad.
She was probably like, no, it was just a joke.
This is mine for later.
Yeah. I'll do this at home.
I'm not going to share with you.
Yeah, exactly. So Will goes to the bathroom to wash his face and has a flashback of teaching his son how to wash his hands.
Jesus Christ.
Also the crazy mirror there.
Yeah.
And when he splashes his face, like half his hair is wet. And I'm like, man, that's so uncomfortable to do at a dinner party. And also the next scene, your hair is completely dry. Crazy. But I love this mirror setup.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah. So he goes out to the backyard.
This whole house is just fucking amazing.
I would love to have this house. It's weirdly kind of cozy, but also big, which is not something that usually happens.
And it's got multiple levels. It's so cool.
And it like looks big and is big, but doesn't feel big, which is
it's kind of got that mid-century modern kind of deal.
Welcome to We Recommend House Hunters. So he goes out to the backyard and is greeted by Kira. He tells her he's clearly not okay because he's dealing with the pain of his son's death. And I love the perfect line. I meant to say this at the beginning. I have a scream trapped inside me.
Ooh.
Such a perfect way to describe grief. I got a scream inside me.
Got to let it out.
Yeah. And then he kind of says that his kid died because kids were messing around with bats that he gave him. So it even makes him feel worse is that he gave him the bats.
Yeah, but not all kids die from bats.
Here's the thing. Who expects them to kill each other with bats?
Yeah, that's what Kira goes into. She's like, it's not your fault, dude.
Yeah, she says she can help him. He tells her that he doesn't think she can help him, which upsets her, and she goes back inside. She's like,
all right, dick.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm out of here.
Like, I get that, like, that probably kind of hurt that he said that, but it's like, man, this guy's kind of losing his mind here.
Yeah.
Like, he probably doesn't mean this right now. Or he's just deflecting, I feel like, at this point. It's like, maybe just be like, all right, I understand. I'm just going to leave you alone. Instead, it's like,
do you think that,
I don't know.
Do you think that they believe that if they stay long enough at this party that they're all going to kind of resolve some differences? I mean, that's the whole point of it, but like,
I feel like
they have faith that it's really going to happen.
I feel like that's what Will's doing, and kind of everybody else is trying to just make it seem normal again.
They're just trying to get to the end of the night.
Yeah. Well, because I think that the friends miss this. They miss all hanging out, I think.
Sure.
But yeah, I definitely think that's why Will stays. He's like, I got to work this out. This is my chance.
Yeah, very introspective.
Yeah. And then Will goes inside. Eden is cutting the cake, and everybody is just staring at him as he walks inside. Hey, guys, don't do that to a person that just had a meltdown, right?
Yeah. And you know what pisses me off about red velvet cake?
Let's go.
That it's just vanilla with red food coloring.
Or I thought it was chocolate with red food coloring.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, I
don't know much about cakes.
I remember it was actually this past birthday and my birthday, and they got me the bundt cakes, nothing bundt cakes.
Oh, it's got the hole in it.
Those little buntlet cakes though, like the small one, they're so good.
Yeah.
Then I was just like, oh, Natalie, I don't really like red velvet cake. She's like, it's just chocolate cake with
chocolate cake.
Red dye in it. And I was like, what? Took a bite and I was like, I could have been having red velvet cake.
Yeah. And that's what, because I was always like, oh, I love red velvet cake. But then I learned that. I'm like, my life has been a lie.
It's like, man, just changing the color of something really makes, because I always thought it was going to taste like strawberries or something. And I don't like strawberry tasting cakes.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. So when he comes in, everybody's just staring. And then he immediately asks if he can see their son's room. Will walks around and has a flashback to his son sleeping inside. And I like this because this is one of the times where when we flash back, he's not his younger self. He's the self that he is right now. And he's laying next to his son from the past.
Jeez.
And it's so sad and it gets me. And I don't even have kids. I only assume this is terrifying for you in all ways.
Yeah, no, it is.
3 kids.
A litof bit, yeah. I find it interesting that even though like the son has been gone for a long time, the room hasn't been touched. And I kind of understand that, but like,
I feel like that's a big thing in movies. A lot of movies like to do that.
But some movies, sometimes they show it and the room's picked up. It's all put back together. You know, it's just still there. But
they left it there, even more excruciatingly.
Like, do you
like he was just there.
God, no.
Also, there's like little blocks with the alphabet on them.
What did they say?
Will, the actor Will, made him say the director's last name.
Aw,
Kusama. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So just a little fun in this
That's neat.
excruciating moment.
Yeah. It's like Ed Gein with his mother.
Yeah.
Oh, how sweet.
But Will sees through the window David go into the backyard and light a red lantern perched on the edge of the backyard. Everything is officially about to get crazy.
You
So-
don't have to turn on
And
the
this immediately
red
snaps
light.
Will out of his like, no, you know what? Maybe I'm not crazy here.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm going to go retrieve a laptop that the recruitment video was played on.
Maybe I'm just gonna snoop around and make myself
Yeah.
feel better.
Because that's what he does. And he watches more of the video from the leader, who tells the members to not be scared and to remember that a reward is upon them. They take the steps and believe and give themselves over. Get out of a cult if you ever see something like this. So Pruitt knocks on the door. Yay, Pruitt. And tells Will everyone is waiting for him. Why? I don't know. It seems like y'all should just be partying.
Yeah.
And while simultaneously on the video, the leader tells the watching cult member that he loves them and he is waiting for them. So Will is led upstairs, and I love this because it's kind of like a little slow motion-ish type
Yeah.
of walk, I think. I can't remember. And because Pruitt's kind of got like he's like, oh, let's go. And then as he's walking behind him, it's like
I
faces.
know he's fucking walking behind him
And he's slowly getting more serious. Like you can see him get serious behind him.
because it's
like,
hitting him.
Yeah. And well, it's now the bad time of the movie.
Hell yeah.
So he goes upstairs. Everyone is being poured another glass of wine, this time from a decanter. The members of the invitation seem elated at this. David suggests they should all take a moment to look at each other and then raise their glass in a toast to a better world and to peace. So there's only like 10 more minutes of this movie, which is great because you have all this tension building up and it's like, we're going to unleash this in 10 minutes to your face.
Yeah.
So immediately Gina drinks her glass right away.
Hell yeah.
Giving
Party girl.
Will no time. And then Will smashes the glasses out of everyone's hand, telling them to not drink, tells Kira they're leaving. And then Sadie goes buck wild, telling him that he's ruined. You've ruined everything. She charges at him and he pushes her away, knocking her into a dresser. Here's the thing. Everybody's like, why the hell would you do that, Will?
She
like,
attacked him?
She was pulling his hair, slapping him in the face.
It was kind of an accident.
And I understand everybody's like, you're going crazy, Will. But like, and I do like the fact that it's almost identical to the way Pruitt killed his wife. Similar,
yeah.
making her hit her head on something and dying. But yeah, it's
but I liked how Miguel's like, call 911. I'm like, finally.
People have it. People have brains in this house all of a sudden. So everyone starts surrounding Sadie, worried that she has been killed when hitting her head. The group gathers around trying to revive Sadie. Kira says that she's not breathing, and it's revealed she doesn't mean Sadie, but Gina, who is foaming from the mouth.
She did.
Wait a second. Will was right?
Damn, Will.
Miguel tries to
Finally.
revive Gina with CPR, but is shot with a gun by David. And everything just kind of goes silent, and everybody's backing away slowly. And like, what the fuck?
Damn.
And then Pruitt takes the gun away from David.
He's like, I want to do it.
Ben, Kira, and Will back away, and it's showtime.
Oh,
It's showtime.
Yes.
Yeah. Pruitt then shoots Choi dead before venturing to another part of the house because he crawls away. Poor guy, man. He just got there. He didn't even get to have a good time.
God damn it. Didn't even get a full glass of wine
Yeah,
yet.
and the rest of them run away. They also grab Tommy with them, but he's angry about the death of his boyfriend and charges at David, but Sadie slashes him with a knife, and we're like, damn, there goes Tommy. Or maybe not.
His chest is too muscular.
Yeah, Kira and Will separate from Ben and are charged at by Sadie. Will shoves her away, and they barricade themselves in a room, but the windows are barred. Oh, damn it.
Can't get out anywhere.
They can see David in the backyard stabbing Ben and then Pruitt joining by shooting Ben dead. Damn, I like Ben too.
Yeah, Ben was cool.
Yeah. Will tries to calm Kira down, telling them that they will survive by doing whatever it takes because they're just dealing with human beings. I really like that line.
Yeah, they're just human.
It's like, they're no cult. They're not special. They're just humans.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry. They have no powers or
They
anything.
do have weapons.
Yeah. And I feel like it's also the writers being like, this isn't a supernatural thing, guys. Don't worry. There's not going to be any lights in the skies.
Yeah.
Except for helicopters.
There's no aliens.
So-
Although aliens would have been fun.
That would have been a wild thing. It'd be like, oh, so Heaven's Gate was right.
Yeah.
So they step back into the house where Will sees David trying to calm down Eden, who is upset about all the murder taking place instead of all the poisoning that was supposed to be taking place. Because it's supposed to be a fun moment for her. Instead, it's like, oh, I got to watch all my friends I love die? That sucks. David points out that they were chosen, and this is how they can leave the earth along with all the hurt they harbor. Will waits until both have gone, and then Kiara and him start upstairs to an exit that leads to the garage. Will sees Sadie dying on the couch, having impaled herself with a fireplace poker. As she slowly dies, unable to make a noise, he takes the fire poker from her lap.
I thought Pruitt shot her. Because she was just kind of holding the thing.
I think it was supposed to, wasn't it?
Because I thought he came up.
No, it wasn't stabbed in her.
I thought he came up because, Pruitt gets the gun from David and he just walks over and shoots Sadie. Because she's got a.
He shoots
Choi. Okay. Yeah. I thought Sadie also had a bullet hole in her chest.
I assumed she stabbed herself, but I don't think it shows it, so it could be either one, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
I just assumed she did with a poker because it was on her. I was taking notes. I might have missed it. Poker face. So upstairs, Will learns the door to the garage has been removed. I wonder why. Pruitt ventures upstairs with a gun, and then Will emerges, knocking it out of his hand. They scuffle. It's terrifying because Pruitt's a giant man.
Yeah.
And he looks like a teddy bear, but man, if he grabs you, you're gone. He's just a big man.
I do love how Kira fucks him up.
Because I think the actor is like 6'5" or like 6'7". He's like a tall guy, I believe. I may be completely wrong about that.
Scary human.
Yeah. But so they scuffle, but Kira attacks him with a bottle of wine.
Hell yeah.
Until she successfully kills Pruitt. It's great.
It's a great sound, dude.
Yeah.
Like thunk, thunk.
Yeah.
And then he starts groaning.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
you
good.
See like the wound on his face. Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
And then they run into Eden in the hall. She shoots Will with the gun in the shoulder. Eden then apologizes and shoots herself in the stomach.
Hey.
Why the stomach?
Getting shot in the stomach is one of the most painful ways to go.
Yeah. It's like, man, you had like two better options.
You can't mess up your pretty face.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. You
could have just drank a bunch of poison.
You never know. You might transcend and have a hole in your head, and you don't want that.
No, you don't want that.
Yeah, I'd rather have blood. A bloody
Let's all your thoughts out.
But after this, Kira grabs the gun. Now David is the only cult member alive. He is brandishing the butcher's knife, calling for Eden. Will tell David that Eden shot herself, and David is glad because she's with him now. Kira realizes that the gun is empty. Will warns David not to approach because they have a gun, but David isn't worried about his own death because it's time. He's stopped short by Tommy, who has survived the stabbing. Tommy wrestles David to the ground, stabbing him in the chest.
Yeah, Tommy.
Let's go, Tommy. I have no idea why you're the one picked to survive, but let's go.
I liked that they didn't kill. I liked that they didn't just leave Will alive.
Yeah.
I like that there are other survivors.
Yeah,
that was cool.
And it's like gonna be great to have 3 people to say we didn't do this, dude. And then here comes the ending. Nearby, Eden has not yet died. Crying, she tells Will that she also misses their son. She asks Will to take her outside to die. He does. Will, Kira, and Tommy watch as Eden takes her last breath. It's really sad.
Her last words are like, I hope we, and then she dies.
Yeah.
Like, do you think she's going to say, I hope we see each other again? Maybe?
Yeah, because she still believes. She just hates how it's just really sad. It's like, damn, man.
I don't know. Like, that was the crux of it, her whole situation. Like, she just wants to see her son.
She just wanted to be happy with everybody.
Yeah.
She can't be happy, so that's why she joins this cult and wants everybody to die. Apparently, you're just all going to be happy. You join a cult and die.
They love bomb the shit out of you.
Yeah. So she takes her last breath, and then all of a sudden, we get the sounds of sirens are heard in the distance, dogs barking, and some screaming, and helicopters overhead.
It's like the fucking purge is happening.
Yeah, exactly. And as Tommy goes inside to retrieve the corpse of his boyfriend, Kira and Will venture to the side of the hill and notice a hillside filled with lights from red lantern.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because there's more than just their house going through this.
And apparently it's everyone in Los Angeles.
It's like, damn, I'm going to have to deal with so much media after this. The end.
Yeah, when you hear the helicopter, I thought you were going to see like it flying over their house and shining down the spotlight. You're like, hey, why aren't you dead yet?
Yeah. And you know, this is another, so when horror movies, I always want there to be one more scene, and it's news coverages of
the aftermath.
Because it's always like, how do you explain this, man? Especially with like Get Out.
Yeah.
That movie, you know, at the end, like his friend comes and gets him from the TSA.
Yeah, his friend was funny.
And it's like, well, you got this whole burning house. Everybody's eventually going to be like, hey, you survived this. What's your deal?
Yeah, what's the story?
I always want to just like, hey, what's the aftermath of all this? Especially because some of the crazy horror movies is like, how do you explain? Like, you're going to jail now. I don't know.
This is just like a Friday in Los Angeles.
What else are you going to do?
This must happen a lot.
Yeah, right. But that's the end of the movie. I hope you all enjoyed
Fuck
it.
yeah, man.
If
It
you
was
haven't
awesome.
seen it, it's such a great movie. And I hope you didn't listen to this without seeing it because it's very fun to go in there blind, like I did the first time.
Like Bird Box.
Yeah. Just feeling your way through the movie. Exactly. All right. So we're going to go to our first category, the good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. It's where we talk about the good of the movie, the good, the bad of the movie, the bad, the ugly, something that didn't age well, the fine, something that did age well. What you got for the good?
The good, it was, even though I don't like the awkward tension, they were so good at building up this whole situation. I thought it was really great.
Horror movies that let the story breathe,
Yeah.
let you really like feel like you're in the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really interesting.
Because it's like, I don't know, you want everything to go well, but it's not. But like the storytelling is being like, hey, like, don't you like these people? Don't you want them all to come together? They shouldn't leave. They should work this out. And then it's like, no, it's a cult thing. And I think all the acting is really good.
Yeah, really
like, everybody's super believable, and it's just
pretty genuine.
They nailed it. Yeah. What do you got for the bad?
Cults.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that they did a bad job. I think maybe they didn't.
I feel like that's more of the ugly, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they are the ugly, but I thought that they didn't do a really great job of explaining like the ideals of this cult.
Yeah.
Because cults are very specific about, their shit.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And like this one, it's so vague to me that all they care about is just offing themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, like, just to play devil advocates here, I think I like it because I feel like if you're not inside the cult, this is what a cult looks like to you.
Yeah, I guess.
You're like, why are you doing this? Like, there's nothing they could say to them to be like, because they tell them, it's like, hey, look, it's all about being happy before you die and like getting rid of your grief. And it's like, what are you talking about? That's not how this works. What are you doing? So I feel like in terms of not knowing about the cult, it could be like, well, yeah, if you're a group of people who don't know about the cult, it's like all going to be weird and vague, right?
That's an interesting way to put it.
But I do understand. I do want like a sequel or a prequel of Eden and David at this cult.
Yeah. I kind of maybe wanted to know a little bit about like, I don't know, maybe more about the cult leader.
You should watch a movie called The Sacrament. It's Ty West does it. It's a found footage film where they go in with cameras and walk around this. It's like a Jonestown cult type of situation. It's got a really good performance. It may be boring.
That's good.
But it just depends. If you're like me and I love cult stuff,
I love learning about cults.
I love it. And I love watching the background and people doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
It's about like Midsummer. I'm like looking in the background, I'm constantly like, well, they're doing something weird. For me, the bad, I put that there's no way that some of these people would stay.
True.
It might just be a me thing. Yeah. I would leave.
No, I understand what you mean. And that's what confused me about why they were all staying. It's like they must have gone through something crazy together in order to stay and try to work through this.
I think it's like they probably were just, after the kid's death, they probably tried to maybe be there for them. And then maybe they're like, I don't know, man, they're not getting better and this is not working for us. So I don't know what we can do except just give them space. And then next thing you know, 2 years are gone.
Right.
Right. But I don't know. I just being me, like me and Natalie were at a place once at like people started drinking and then I was like, well, this is getting weird. And then something really weird happened. Like, let's go. And we immediately walked out the door and left.
Yay.
That's what I love about my wife.
You're still alive.
We're the same.
Good for you.
Nothing bad happened, but it was just, there was this point where I was like, this is not fun and this is weird and it's time to go immediately.
The massage circle started without you and you're just embarrassed.
Like, I'm just mad. I'm like, oh, man, I wore too many layers. I don't want to take all these shirts off. What do you got for the ugly?
I don't know. Nothing really.
Yeah, nothing aged poorly, really.
I love the way the house looked. Maybe I don't know. I can't really.
I put cults. Cults just suck, man.
They suck ass.
It doesn't age poorly for the movie. I feel like it is proper, but like just it seems like now that we get more, like every year that goes by, it's like, yeah, did you know there's like 30 more cults?
Fuck yeah, man.
Every year there's like 5 documentaries about a different cult. And it's like, and then I listen to podcasts about another cult. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. This is America. You can have
There's even a podcast called Is It a Cult or something? Yeah. They actually did one on Costco.
Nice.
On whether it's a cult or not.
Is it? What was their?
I didn't fully listen to it.
Well, now because I go to Costco.
Yeah, I'll have to send you.
I'm not in a cult, Jesse, but I
Mhm.
do have to bring someone new next time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So fine. Something that aged well. What aged the best for you?
Uh,
Like in terms of this was 2015. Now it's 2024.
I don't know. I feel like maybe the whole dinner party genre movie kind of.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things done with that idea, and I kind of like it. I kind of like because I hate dinner parties. God damn it,
it's a great place for drama.
yeah, it really is. But when you add the fact that you can't leave now,
Yeah.
because that's like your biggest out. It's like if things get weird, I'm gonna leave, and I have that freedom. But now you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody's gonna be like, "Well, we don't like him anymore. He's just leaving." I put what aged the best for me in this movie is the final shot.
Oh yeah, that was
I love
cool.
the Red Lantern.
That was an interesting.
It's where it becomes a horror movie for me.
Yeah, because they're like you're leaving the light on for the aliens. Maybe
I don't know.
It's like putting the blood over the door for the.
I feel like it's maybe like a signifying thing. It's like we're doing this. We're all doing this now.
Yeah, and then like everybody around you and they're doing it too, and like it's kind of like a thing of solidarity for everyone in the valley.
Be like we're all doing it.
Yeah, we're all part of this cool club.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn it.
Crazy. It is like now that you said, do you want to know more about the cult? Now I really want to know more about the cult.
I know. It seems interesting,
Yeah,
right?
it's like I want to know the Red Lantern thing completely.
I want to know what else they do.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go to our next category, which is the double feature, a movie that you think goes well with this film. What did you pick, my man?
I picked another dinner party movie. It's called It's a Disaster.
Yeah.
And they show it for, and that's what made me think this movie was the same movie at first, because there's always one person that's late, and in that movie there's someone that's late, and like she's punished severely for it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's a really fun movie. It didn't get a lot of like stars or nothing, but I really liked to watch it.
I mean, it's got Julia Stiles in it, and
Yeah.
David Cross. There's a lot of good actors in this. Like fun, like actors you won't see leading movies like in this movie. Like I don't know. It looks really fun.
There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on. It's a fun movie.
I can't wait to watch. I chose a movie called The Gift. It came out the same year as The Invitation. It's a very awkward, uncomfortable movie. It's all about just one person making these two people's lives very uncomfortable.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that
It's
one.
directed by Joel Edgerton. You know him if you saw him. Jason Bateman's in it. Rebecca Hall's in it.
Hell yeah. I like
They're
Jason Bateman.
so good. And of course, Jason Bateman's doing his sarcastic asshole stuff. And it's so good. Rebecca Hall's good in anything she's in. It's about a married couple, Simon and Robin, run into Gordo, an old classmate. Things take a turn when Gordo begins to drop in unannounced at their house and inundates them with mysterious gifts. And the last gift is crazy.
That's awesome.
You should watch it.
That sounds cool.
You would actually, you'd be like, fuck, we got to do this on the podcast.
I want to have a murder dinner party theme, a murder themed dinner party.
Okay, well, the way you put it the first time, I'm not going.
Well, who said you were invited
No,
anyway?
I want to do like a murder dinner party so bad. And they do them in Nashville all the time, but they're like, it's so expensive.
Oh, but you're talking about like the murder mystery.
Yeah, murder
dinner
mystery.
party.
You want to do
I just
kind of
want to make everyone feel like they might die at the end and then give them gift baskets.
Oh, okay. Well, now that I know that that's the goal, I will go. But I would not stay if I did not know that that's where you're going with it. But,
two different things.
Yes, that's the end of the movie. That's the invitation. I hope you got it and you went and you enjoyed it. We are gonna do next week our last movie of October. Sadly, we're doing The Conjuring, baby.
Spectacular.
Hell yeah!
Can't wait.
James Wan again. We're doing it's. I don't know. The Conjuring's such a great spooky movie.
Fuck yeah.
It's beautiful. It's kind of sad. It's also terrifying in some spots. It's got some really great visuals, scary visuals.
Hell
I love
yeah.
it. It's kind of a go-to every October. So
Fuck
now I
yeah,
get to
man.
watch it for the podcast. Hell yeah. So make sure you join us next week for that because The Conjuring rules and we rule. And if you think we rule, you should leave us a review. Write some nice things about us. Give us 5 stars. Follow us if you're listening and you listen every week. Give us a follow on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so I can see, hey, you listen and you like.
You'd be like, you rule now.
Yeah, you rule just like us. And we can all transcend from this podcast
We can all
together.
rule together in the
Yes.
afterlife.
And in our description, we have a link up top where you can text us some fan mail. say whatever you want. Tell us a movie, scary stories, whatever. Just be like, hey, I love you. And I'll be like, hey, on the podcast, I'll say I love you too. Whew, we got to get better at ending this, right? And if you don't want to click the link, or if it's not in there, like on YouTube, you can go to the bottom of the description and we have an email and you can email us. So, and if you want to follow us on social media, go to our link tree /We Recommend Podcast. It's the fastest way to get to our social media. So go there. Thank you, Joey Prosser, for our intro and outro. You can follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. That's the end of the podcast. I've been Jesse.
I've been Jason.
See you at the next dinner party, Jason.
Oh, God.
Bye.